Welcome to another edition of Our City. A few things going around the city of Elizabeth this week. On Wednesday, February 24th at 7 o'clock, Kean University will be hosting Oh Freedom, an exhibit at the Liberty Hall Carriage House in Union. This traveling exhibit explores the story of African Americans on the battlefront and in the aftermath of the American Revolutionary War in New Jersey. Located on Morris Avenue across the street from Kean University, it would be a great opportunity to visit and learn more about African American history during Black History Month here in the city of Elizabeth. On Thursday, February 25th, the Portugal Day Committee will be holding their annual cocktail reception, which kicks off this year's Portugal Day Parade. The event will be held at the Portuguese Instructive Social Club. It's located on Route 1 and 9. For more information, call 482-9970. And on Friday, February 26th at 4:30, the Union County Dominican Parade and their Elizabeth residents will be in front of City Hall for a flag raising of the Dominican Republic flag. Afterwards, a ceremony in the City Council chambers. On Saturday, February 27th at 2:30, the United Youth of New Jersey Stepping Competition. This event features drill teams competing for prizes. The annual contest is held at the Mickey Walker Center in our city, located at Anna Street. For more information, you can call Kenny Brown at 908-220-5279. If you need more information concerning these events or any other events in our city, please call our Public Information Office at 908-820-4124. And for this week's show, I am pleased to be joined by the member of City Council who represents the 5th Ward, Councilman William Gallman. Councilman Gallman, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mayor. Thanks.
It's good to see you.
Same here.
It's always nice to say Councilman of the 5th Ward because I used to have that title from 1983 to 1992, and it's a great ward.
Yes, it is. And you, by and large, you served it well when you was there.
Well, I appreciate that. And I met you there for the first time.
Absolutely.
In the 1982 campaign, you were extremely helpful. You were just a mere boy back then? No,
absolutely.
I'm only kidding. You were a youngin'.
Youngin'. Do you recall the event that took place when we first met, especially on South Park Street?
I do. You were working for the Union County Park Commission.
Yes.
And you were friends with Paula Dess, who was helping me, and you volunteered to pitch in, and we went door to door.
Yes.
And we skipped rope.
Skip rope.
We did double dutch.
Double dutch. You tried to do double dutch.
I think I made it one or two times. But then I fell.
Yes. Great time.
But there were no cell phone videos back then.
No, not at all.
There were no anything to show us around at all.
Had a lot of fun.
We were young.
Yes, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, we're still young at heart.
We're still young at heart. Okay. Councilman, tell us about your ward, where the boundaries are, the 5th Ward, and then we'll talk a little bit about your role as the councilman.
Well, the 5th Ward, I always say, is the hub of the city, because a few other wards kind of like touch base with it. You got the 4th Ward, touch switch along Walnut Street in that area, all the way up along the railroad track, up to Neck Lane, and then you got the 1st Ward kind of touch along like 4th Street and Broadway, and matter of fact, even down by Dowd Avenue, 1st Ward. And then you got the 6th Ward, kind of touch base over near Livingston Street. So it kind of unique where it's located, and we're very pleased with it because they're all our neighbors, and it's always have that good, clean, competitive feeling between the three of us, the ward people, and we enjoyed that. We enjoy that, and we have a lot of fun doing that. You know what I mean? And it's always fun doing things that you love and trying to help people, and that's what we're about.
Yeah, well, the wards were up with another census, believe it or not, in 2010, and whatever that comes, it won't affect this year's election for city council, but it'll affect the next ward races. There'll probably be some new lines drawn, but in the past, it hasn't changed drastically.
Yeah.
And the 5th Ward in where you live on Court Street,
Right.
is the Fifth Ward, 3rd District, which has always historically been the largest district in the city.
Yes, it has. Yes.
Yeah, it represented, and that's the ward, that's the district too that touches on the other wards.
Correct. Exactly. Yes.
And Councilman, tell us, you a lifelong resident there? Or
No.
You came from the South. I remember you telling me the story one day how you emigrated. Your parents did looking for work back in the, was it the 40s? It was a great story.
Yeah,
Maybe you don't
yeah.
mind sharing it with our viewers.
Not at all. Yes, I was born and raised in the South. I got my education in the South, and not too much. I got out of high school with a great prospect and good grades. Always has been an A student, and I enrolled into Allen University. And unfortunately, I didn't have enough money to finish. So my parents was poor. My parents were sharecroppers. And my dad didn't care too much for sharecropping, although he was on the farms and did what he had to. My dad was a trucker. He always liked to drive trucks. So my mom worked around the farm most of the time, and so did we, a little bit, not that much. But I was able to go to school, get an education, and believe you me, at the early age of 16, I had my school bus driving license, and I was able to drive the school bus in the morning and go to school, pick up the kids, and drop them off and come back, do my homework, play basketball. I was heavily in sport, great basketball player during that time. I don't know about now. And I couldn't play football at the time because at that time I was being an only son. My mom would not sign off for me to play football because she was afraid I could get injured, so she wouldn't sign off. But I did play basketball. So anyway, after getting out of a quarter of a session out of Allen University, I came to North. And, you know, with the old saying, you say, go north and you want to find a job and everything is going to be hunky-dory. Well, guess what? Got here to North, there was no jobs here. And so I got here, so wait a minute here, I got a good education, but there's no job to be found. So I searched around, and I did construction work, I did janitorial work, I did, you name it. And what I didn't want to do something I did down in the South, was cut grass. So when I said I got offered a job at Union County, they told me what the job in County was cutting grass. I said, no way, I am not cutting any grass. Well, lo and behold, I made a career out of it for 46 years.
You started off as cutting grass.
I started off
but you rose to be the head of the department.
Yes, I did. I rose to be the head of the department because, you know, naturally I'm the one, don't like to stay in one area. I always felt there was room for improvement and advancement, and I did that. Worked myself up through the ranks, and I was able to become director of park maintenance for Union County for quite a
You handled all the golf courses. So for a guy that didn't like grass.
Well, I handled all the golf courses and the parks at one given time. I had the whole bowl of wax until we split up the section from the golf courses to the parks. But yes, I had the whole section. But
Councilman, the Fifth Ward has a lot of unique neighborhoods, different neighborhoods, kind of been the same for 50, maybe 100 years, the neighborhoods, right? And it's one of the things that make up our city as well, is people not only say they're from Elizabeth, but they point out the neighborhood they're from.
Yes.
Maybe you can talk a little bit about the different neighborhoods of the Fifth Ward.
well.